Revelation 4 KJV. The throne room of heaven. If there were ever a chapter that flings wide the doors of eternity, surely it is this. One moment, we are shackled to the dust of the earth, and the next, we are swept into the throne room of God Himself. What a curious thing, that the frail frame of a man, this exile, this dreamer, this apostle, should be lifted beyond the veil to glimpse the splendor that few dare imagine. And yet, this is not the idle musings of a mystic lost in a fever dream. No, this is revelation, where every symbol is sharper than a sword, every word weightier than the foundations of the earth. What John saw was not a vision of what could be, but a reality that has always been, waiting for our eyes to be opened. So, step forward with reverence. For here, amidst the dazzling gemstones and flashing lightning, we do not find the imaginations of men, but the unshakable throne of the Almighty. Verse 1. After this I looked, and, behold, a door was opened in heaven, and the first voice which I heard was as it were of a trumpet talking with me, which said, Come up hither, and I will show thee things which must be hereafter. Verse 2. And immediately I was in the Spirit, and, behold, a throne was set in heaven, and one sat on the throne. Verse 3. And he that sat was to look upon like a jasper and a sardine stone, and there was a rainbow round about the throne, in sight like unto an emerald. Verse 4. And round about the throne were 24 seats, and upon the seats I saw 24 elders sitting, clothed in white raiment, and they had on their heads crowns of gold. Verse 5. And out of the throne proceeded lightnings and thunderings and voices, and there were 7 lamps of fire burning before the throne, which are the 7 spirits of God. Verse 6. And before the throne there was a sea of glass like unto crystal, and in the midst of the throne, and round about the throne, were 4 beasts full of eyes before and behind. Verse 7. And the first beast was like a lion, and the second beast like a calf, and the third beast had a face as a man, and the fourth beast was like a flying eagle. Verse 8. And the 4 beasts had each of them 6 wings about him, and they were full of eyes within, and they rest not day and night, saying, Holy, 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 Lord God Almighty, which was, and is to come. Verse 9. And when those beasts give glory and honor and thanks to him that sat on the throne, who liveth for ever and ever. Verse 10. The 24 elders fall down before him that sat on the throne, and worship him that liveth for ever and ever, and cast their crowns before the throne, saying, Verse 11. Thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power, for thou hast created all things, and for thy pleasure they are and were created. Conclusion. The throne that never trembles. And so, in this dazzling vision of heaven, we find no trembling deities, no warring gods vying for dominance, no shifting sands of uncertainty. This throne does not shake. It does not wither. It does not yield to time, nor bow to the shifting empires of men. The 24 elders, wise and venerable, crowned with gold, do not hesitate to cast their crowns before him. Here is no boast of self-sufficiency, no arrogance of mortal achievement. They do not clutch their rewards like misers, but lay them down at his feet, knowing that every good thing was only ever borrowed from his infinite grace. And what of the 4 living creatures, those strange, many-eyed beings who cry, Holy, 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 without rest? They do not bore of their task. They do not tire of the refrain. For to gaze upon infinite holiness is to find something new every moment, something fresh in every breath, something glorious that eternity itself cannot exhaust. Thus, Revelation 4 is not merely a glimpse into heaven's courtroom, it is an invitation. The door stands open. The voice still calls, Come up hither. The only question left is, will we lift our eyes to see?